Good day, everybody. Welcome to today's video. If you've been following my channel for a while and watching this LS build in my 2003 Jeep TJ, one of the issues I'm going to deal with now is the output seal on the NP231 Transfer case is leaking. It's got a slip yoke eliminator, so it doesn't take your traditional seal. Now let's go through the process on how I'm going to tackle this job. First thing, most important thing, block your wheels front and rear, because as soon as you remove that drive shaft, unless you got your emergency brakes on, the vehicle is going to roll, possibly. So now you got to, on my setup, the bolts are behind there, so I got to pull those all off. These have been held in by Loctite, so they're not going to be your friend to break free. So now that you got the drive shaft removed, one of the things you want to do is check for play. It should feel solid in there. I mean, you have some backlash, of course, but if you can move the shaft around, you got internal issues, and replacing the seal is not going to do anything. So now I'm just going to hit that with some brake clean, just to kind of clean that up around there. So that nut is 1 1/8 inches. Probably on there real good. This will just slide off as such. So you want to make sure you clean all that off. This is very important. This is what prevents oil leaking through the shaft or the splines. So now comes the fun part. Once you got the splines cleaned up, you gotta figure out your own way how to get that seal out, and you can go between and then try to keep on working it around. But I'm going to see if I can find something better. Using the seal puller was gravy train getting that out. So now that I got my seal, one of the things I'm going to do, that's the old seal right there, is I found this bearing race in the garage. It's actually going to work out perfect to help tap it into place. I'm going to use my brass hammer, which I don't think it really matters because I'm tapping this. But one of the things you got to watch out when you're tapping it is that that spring could actually pop out, and if it pops out, then you're hooped. But little trick in the trade that I've learned over the years is that you take some grease and then you kind of fill the inside with grease there, and it'll hold the spring in place from popping out. I'm just kind of basically gonna shove it in at 4 corners. You could go the whole distance if you want. That'll be enough to hold it in place. So now off camera, clean this with brake cleaner. So now we're going to be ready to fit the seal up. Hopefully get it on. What's different about this is that there's no depth setting there. So you want to try to get the seal as flush with this body as you can. That's all we got. Try to get the seal flat. Seals in flat, seals in flush. Now we're ready to put the yoke back in. Coming back to here, I'm going to use this gasket maker to put in the splines, and then I'm going to put assembly grease on here to make it go in a little bit easier. Got a hard piece right there. So if you don't silicone the splines, what'll happen is that oil is going to seep up and cause a fake leak. Well, it's not going to be fake, it's going to be legit. Now, this is assembly grease. And be liberal when you apply that. Alright, so I got my yoke. I'm sliding it on, and as I slide it in place, I guess I don't quite have it in neutral, but that's alright. Gotta put that nut back on it. Now once you got your drive shaft into place, remember to Loctite all your bolts so they don't fall out, because that's the last thing you want. Now, of course, if you're desperate to drive your Jeep, you could use some silicone that was quick setting. The stuff I got needs to set, so I don't plan on driving it for a day. The seal's installed. Hopefully I won't have any issues. If I do, I will report. So if you have any questions or comments, post them below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.